Let's learn a bunch of progressions for the baby macaco. So starting point, from a squat, I'm gonna reach my hand to the side, shift my weight onto the hand, and simply step to the other side. So I'm stepping with the closer foot first. This is important, stepping with the closer foot first, then the other foot back into a squat. And each time it's a half turn happening. Don't worry too much about the other arm for now. I will talk about that in a second. But again, pay attention to shifting the weight onto the arm that's on the ground and stepping one foot at a time to the other side. Next progression is the same thing, just adding a tiny amount of hop to it. The mechanics are very similar, shifting the weight onto the hands, stepping the closer foot first, and then the second leg. But just with a tiniest amount of hop there. Okay, now for the next one, I'm gonna make the hop even a bit bigger. Now this requires, first of all, to shift more and more weight onto that hand and arm that's on the ground. And also, again, notice my closer foot landing first and the second leg intentionally lagging quite a bit behind, even for half a second. So I'm not jumping with both feet. And now the other arm, you can think about reaching in the direction of travel. See how we're gonna reach here and then reach with the other arm again. It's gonna pull us forward. You can also try to jump with both feet. It doesn't look that bad. It is nice. So I do recommend trying it, but I don't recommend trying it for a long time because once we get into more advanced versions of the macaco, it is more useful to have the second leg lagging behind. Moving on to the next variation. After the hop, we can stand up. Same thing, I reach, I shift my weight, I take one foot at a time, and then I stand up all the way. So nothing too crazy. This is just gonna teach our body to be able to go into a standing position from there. And of course, we can be more and more vertical each time. So instead of standing up from a squat, I can directly already push myself into more of a standing position. Pay attention again to the free arm. See how as I'm hopping, I'm also reaching with my other arm. That reach is actually more useful than you might think because it's gonna pull us up and forward. Here, I'm gonna show and demonstrate the 2 feet variation again. It's the same idea. I can jump with 2 feet and stand. Again, it's not my preferred version of doing this, but you can still give it a try. But try to be as soft as possible. You don't want to bang your feet on the ground. Okay, now things get even more interesting. As I hop, I'm gonna come into a nice and tall stance, but really notice how much my second leg lags behind now as I also reach with that arm. So this way we're creating a lot of length with the arm and with the leg. We're creating length in the body, which allows us to slow down and find more of a floating sensation because you can try it without the reaches. It's gonna feel more crashy and you're gonna collapse. But with this reaching, you can find more float. Now go ahead and give it a try yourself.